Hey, you! You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed because you're an untouchable success. To support us and gain access to great exclusive shows like our brand new Supernatural watch-along Himboos, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You'll also get your lucky little mitts on hundreds of episodes of our other exclusive shows like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and the complete series of Fox Mulder is a Maniac. We do movie nights, game streaming, regular mini-series and surprise shows, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want, within reason. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by heading to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed. Probably don't need help with that word. Sacre bleu! Another murder on the train!
We're back, baby!
Whee! That
Hi,
is
everybody.
Heinz for yes!
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
I'm the guest again. It's Abe Epperson.
Yeah,
Abe,
you are.
Your train host.
And we just watched Murder on the Orient Express. Not that one. Not that other one. It's a third one.
I'm so tired, boss.
On Agatha Christie's Poirot.
Book for me a passage tonight on the Orient Express.
While aboard a train,
Mr. Poirot, I have enemies.
a shady man is murdered,
He has been stabbed maybe 15 times.
and everyone on board is a suspect.
He was standing here, a dark figure.
Can Poirot solve the case?
Impossible.
Find out
I think that there are two solutions to this murder.
on Agatha Christie's Poirot.
So many trains.
So many murder
So
on
many-
the Orient Express.
So many murders.
I
So
know.
many trains. So
And
many
there's more.
Poirots.
There's
There
other
are.
adaptations.
Yeah.
I know.
Wait, before we get started, big thank you to Dave Ruff.
Thank
Dave
you.
Ruff. Dave Ruff is the Patreon producer who had us watch 3 goddamn versions of this story, and
You
we might do
maniac.
Death on the Nile next. I'm pretty sure.
God dang.
Ooh.
And Abe, thank you so much for being on the show.
I think I was the only one. You asked all your friends, and I was the only one who said yes. I'll watch that many Agatha Christie's, the same Agatha Christie 3 times.
Do you want to, since you've been so kind as to watch 3 versions of Murder,
Yeah.
do you want to plug anything? You want to tell people stuff?
Yeah. If you like how I'm yapping throughout this episode, move on over to patreon.com/smallbeans, where we do the same thing. But you probably know that. That's it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Choo on over there. Tug your
This
little
is-
caboose.
This is from a TV show. BBC,
Tis.
I want to say.
Yeah.
Agatha Christie's Poirot, starring David Suchet,
Yes.
whomst I've been crowing about.
Yeah,
And
you
this
have.
is like season 12, episode 3.
That's insane. I
Yeah.
saw that.
This is
It's-
fairly
it's-
recent. Has Jessica Chastain in it.
It
2011.
sure does.
Yeah.
It's got the governor. The governor's there.
It's got Daddy Downton. Is that
It does?
Yeah, Daddy Downton Abbey.
It's got dude who Hans Landa bullies in the beginning of Inglourious Bastards.
It's
Yeah.
got one of the children. I say children, but like the 20-year-old hot things from Stargate Universe.
Nice.
Is in it.
And it has Toby goddamn Jones.
Has Toby
in there.
Jones
Toby
playing
Jones.
Mr.
Ratchet, the
Ratchet.
American.
Yes.
Toby Jones, who has to sit there in mute horror as he gets stabbed to death in an agonizing murder sequence.
Oh, he's great. I love Tony Jones. Especially, did you ever see his episode of Sherlock? He's great in that. He's
Yeah,
like,
no, I've only
he's
seen
really
like
evil.
2 or 3
Dream
Sherlocks.
Doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah, he's a serial
Baskervilles and gosh, I've seen like
Sorry,
one
I'm
other
thinking
one.
of
I've seen
Doctor
very
Who.
little Sherlock.
Oh, okay.
But
I like Sherlock. It's good slop.
I like
I
it.
love
Yeah, no,
that-
it's slop. It's sloppy slop. I love it. I just haven't seen that much of it.
I love that it twice in the 2010s we're like, all right, so we need to fill this role. Give me like a Give me like a Johnny Depp, Tony Jones type.
Toby.
Yeah.
Toby, yeah. This is very funny, very very different performances as the American gangster.
Pretty wide swing.
Who dies.
We have a few things I guess we should talk about, right? We need to compare our...
Oh, just real quick, I will say, like, the way they both play the characters, like, we need an odious child murderer. Like, Johnny Depp? Yeah, that works. Mm-hmm. Toby Jones? Yeah, that works.
That also. Yeah.
Like,
I see it.
I see it. I see it.
Both ways.
But like, so in the past, so folks, if you're just catching up, we covered the 1974 one, and we covered the 2017 one.
The Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
And the Albert Finney.
And
we've been comparing our Poirots. Like, we've been comparing, like, them.
We're trading
and
Poirots. We're grading them.
Yeah.
Trying to get a gem
mainly
in
mustache competitions.
Yeah, it's really a mustache off. A stash off.
Stash off.
I think we can say fairly, David Suchet loses that. Like,
No, it's Branagh the whole way. I mean, I don't know how you even compete with that monster.
Very understated mustache.
Yeah.
It's a very polite mustache. Very cat-like.
Reserved.
Yes. But we could, I don't know, do we want to compare them first? Do we want to talk about the movies, how each movie compared? Because there's a bunch of, this is the shortest one.
It is, yeah.
It's an hour and a half, though, still.
Yes, it's the TV one, right? It's the,
Correct, yeah.
So it's definitely more rushed, I would say.
Yeah, they get to it real quick. I do like the before the train stuff in this film because he meets random members of the train, if you recall from the story, and all of them before he actually gets on the train.
Yeah.
And more so than the other adaptations, there's more like tension in the air. People are irate or tense or touchy because they're about to do a murder, which is something that is a more natural scenario, whereas Poirot is just picking up on them being bad murderers and kind of getting agitated and worried about the event that is about to unfold in their minds. It makes them more unlikable at the beginning, which is valuable because you're like, why is that person all pissy? But by the end, it makes them more human because it's like, oh, they didn't like it though,
Yeah.
And I thought that was a nice maneuver. In the first two ones that we covered, that was kind of just blipped over. Or maybe it was an added for this one. I don't know.
It's interesting to see what each one they like dial back or they ramp up, and I feel like all three of them do something unique and like ramp up something specific. Like, for example, the thing that struck me in this was how much the cold is a character. Like, when the train stops, they spend more time on the fact of, like, we're losing heat, and, like, this is actually a big problem.
Yeah, what you both are talking about, it's just overall, it's unpleasant. And they really focus on it being unpleasant. It's tense. You feel something's off. It feels claustrophobic. It feels menacing.
Yeah.
Yes, there's less like jauntiness in this one.
No,
there's less of like we're solving a mystery.
There's
like,
no like eggs where he's like, oh, boom,
Tell them about the eggs.
The eggs are perfect size.
Runs outside. He doesn't step in shit and then step in more shit to equal out the shit.
God, yeah. There's no round.
Shoes are very symmetrical like my eggs.
I mean,
Sorry.
There's no roundhouse kicks in this one. Also.
Not a single roundhouse kick.
Let's talk about the opening, because so in the 2017, there's the soldier did it thing, right? So that must be in the original story where
he's in Istanbul finishing a crime.
Yeah, he's finishing a crime, and in the 2017 one, accusing. He points out that this soldier did it, and he tries to run away, and he puts his cane in the wall and clotheslines
him. Mats him. With some Sherlock Holmes shit. Like, he puts his cane there 6 steps ahead so the guy clotheslines himself with it.
And it's fun. It's funny. It's like, oh, this one, I believe in the first 30 seconds of this, a man blows his brains out.
Yeah. Basically, Poirot corners a man for killing a woman while he was off duty. and then lying about it to his superior officers, and the guy just shoots himself in the brain right in front of Poirot, and that's the first minute.
Yeah.
And there seems to be some like cultural tension, or like several different groups are represented in all of the versions that adaptations that we've seen.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we see like a all-out riot in Istanbul, where people are throwing stones. I think at one point someone says she's pregnant with another man's child, and Poirot watches on like fucking Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. Like he's just like, yes. But I think it's the first time in all that adaptations that like what you're saying about like the dread that you kind of feel, the tension that you feel in this one. Like he looks like he's fucking running from Istanbul. In the other ones, he's like, I find this displeasant. I am going to move on. You know, it's like to my train. I do not like it here. But he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, because it's not because it displeases him at all. It's because he might die.
A man shot himself because of something I said to him. I better get out of here.
Right, and then right after that, a pregnant woman was stoned to death in the street, and there's nothing I can do about that. That's just kind of a thing that happens.
That just happened. Yeah.
I mean, let me go on and get at it. And he gets into kind of an argument with Jessica Chastain about it, who is playing Mrs. What the heck is her name?
Daisy Ridley.
The Daisy Ridley. She's playing the Daisy Ridley, the teacher character.
Yeah.
And they basically have this discussion of, well, no, it's not right, and I don't enjoy it, but that's the rules of society. She was aware of those rules when she broke them. How could I really intervene here?
He's nuts about this. He's like, no, fucking, that's He's really like, this is the laws of the society.
Yeah, he's like weirdly.
He's like pro the stoning.
He's not, but he's weirdly reluctant to like condemn it. Like he won't condemn it because, and I think I don't think they quite nail it, but it's meant to play into the ending, of course, when he learns that
mob justice,
the idea of mob justice, and is that justice? Is it right because we feel that it's right? Is it right because the law says it's right? Because the law, I believe anyway, at least the way it's presented to us in this film, the law said it was right for them to stone that lady to death. That was fine.
Yeah,
but we know that's not justice, but then it's the reverse here. So, and then Poirot is very much of the mind, in this version anyway, Suchet's version is very much of the mind that we have to have law or else law doesn't matter. Like if
right.
Yeah.
I don't think they nail it, but
No.
because it felt
I don't think they nail it because I don't know if it's a nailable thing.
Right.
That's why. But the other adaptations don't even choose to dig as deep as this one.
Yeah, this one really challenges you with it.
Yeah, this one, it asks one really, really good question. Because it's like you said, Chastain's appeal is like justice and law are pure, right? As Poirot believes. But when it makes a mistake, because it's human and it's fallible and it's subject to things like riots.
And bribes,
her question
which is how Ratchet gets off in this version.
Right. Her question is, what happens when you've been denied justice? Which I think is a unique question or a great point, because in the clockwork mind of Poirot, this isn't an option. Right. It means that if he disagrees with Chastain's valid point, he might have to rethink his perfectionist attitude. We do not ever challenge that attitude in the other adaptations.
He doesn't allow, his perfectionist sort of 2 eggs. It doesn't allow for that possibility.
Because in his mind, he's like, if you do it in the right way, the chaos will be ordered.
You're always going to find the right answer if you do it the way I do it.
And she makes a very valid point of that's never going to happen, dude. Like that never.
Well, she points out it did not happen with Ratchet. Now, did it?
Yeah, that child died. Yeah,
killed 5-year-old, didn't he?
And I think this movie, the whole
got
point
to walk
is
home from the courthouse, didn't he?
He's kind of the bad guy in his own movie.
He is,
it's about him facing this fact. Like he is wrong at the beginning of this. I'd say that a bunch of people stoning this pregnant.
He's more wrong than he is right.
The law
he
says it's true.
Yeah, he doesn't like it, but sorry.
No, it's just that idea of like, yeah, well, the law can be wrong. Like, it's the thing that he can't face. And then by the end, it's like, he never has really that full turn of like, she's right, the law can be wrong. It's like his brain breaks. Like it breaks him.
She says something to him at the end. It's their last conversation before he makes his decision to uphold their lie. And he's talking to her, and she's like, well, when you've been denied justice, it feels like you're not whole. You're not a whole person. So I had to do justice. It's not, and it was, and I did it, and we all asked God, all of us did, and it was, he said, do what is right, and it was the right thing to do, and I did the right thing. And he's like, but so do you feel whole? And she says, no, but I did the right thing.
Yeah. And
so that's kind of what he's wrestling with, that last thought, as he goes and he tells the captain of the gendarme or whatever they're called. I think they're in Belgium. We had this discussion last time trying to pin down exactly where they were. Yugoslavia, I think. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he tells the captain that he upholds the lie, and then he gets out his rosary and starts
he's weeping.
And he's weeping, and that's the last shot, and that's the idea of he did what's right, but he doesn't feel whole.
Yes. So weirdly, tonally, this one made me realize this the most, is that this story is a little similar to Seven. Like Seven, not to say that what he did at the end was right, but Seven's about this like impossible decision at the end, and this man kind of breaking, like throwing away his morals because he can't not. And I'm like, this feels a little Seven to me,
a little
where
bit.
It's like oh God, like him at the end of this kind of being like, I know I'm gonna do this, I have to do this thing, and it's like,
not, to me, it is not justice. This is antithetical to what justice is to Poirot, but he also knows or has decided that it is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
you also get his, like, he chastises them more in this. He's more passionate about rebuking them.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't in all the versions, but like with the Finney and the Branagh versions, it's like judgment from upon high. How dare you? You are pitiful creatures.
Yeah.
Particularly Finney.
It's like,
particularly Finney.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because he sees himself as like kind of godlike because he
feels like he's holding court even more so in the Finney one.
Yeah, but anyway. This one, he's like down in the dregs being like, don't you see the madness? The madness? Like demanding that they see the error of their ways, and he's in a room that no one's listening. I mean, even if they are listening, but he's unhinged because he's like, this doesn't compute with my worldview, I think ultimately is what Christie's trying to say.
This one's way more down to the wire in terms of, is he going to turn them in?
Yeah, he is so outraged.
Mm-hmm. He at one point he's locked them in.
Yeah, and Book is like, but he's like, fucking lock that door.
Yeah. We might as well talk about that scene versus the others, because I will say the Finney version is the most like, I'm a magician, I have solved it, and it's that feeling of like he's more into solving the case, and then he's like, but fuck that man, whatever. Like he's the most like. Really? The Kenneth Branagh one is a little bit of that, where he's like, everybody outside, sit at this table, make it look like the Last Supper. Okay, you go there.
That. You lean in so it looks right. All right, here's a gun.
Yeah,
is it loaded? I don't know.
And he's like the moderate of like, he has to be convinced, but he less. This one, I thought the most fascinating aspect I really liked is they're all frozen in the room. And the guy keeps going off on like, this is what I think happened. And this version, it's almost like he doesn't like get everybody together and go like, I have made my decision. They're all sitting around, and he just starts like, he's like a sourpuss, because you can tell he already, like, you can tell he kind of knows what happens way before.
Out,
and he keeps looking really sad. And then he's almost like pushed into being like, you know what? You all fucking did it. Like, it's almost more that. Like, he's like sick. He just wants to get out of the situation.
You want Poirot to solve the murder? Okay, he solved the murder.
Yeah, it's almost like if no one asks him, he's just going to quietly ride this out and go to the cops and go, they all fucking did it.
Dude, I love that version.
It.
Yeah.
That version would be so funny. He walks up to the police while everyone's out in the snow, and at the end, and he's just pointing at them. Get them all, tie them up. I am the great.
Runs away.
I also like the slow. Like it should. There's no. I want an adaptation where it ends, and I think this is the way we're going. Where at the end we have a slow motion hallway fight scene, for, like a la Old Boy, where Poirot is just daredevils his way down the cab, just slicing and dicing, baby.
Yeah. Fuck it. Ninja Poirot. Like, why not?
Fucking why not, man? But yeah, you really feel his anger in this one.
Yeah, it's just it's a fascinating. There's that scene, and of course, the other loudest scene that I want to compare is the murder. Like the
murder is
it's grisly. The sound.
I'm glad
it's grim. This whole movie is grim. It's like
Yeah.
I think it's the grimmest of the three, and then the murder is really oof.
It's the only one where Toby Jones is awake for
and
it,
blinking and gurgling because they've
every
drugged him
time
with
he's
a paralytic.
stabbed, he goes.
and there's a monologue. She's whispering in his ear.
Yeah, the princess is like down there hissing some Dracula shit in his face while he's getting stabbed, man.
Fucking
It
hellish.
is fucking
taunt.
you're right, it is nightmarish.
I kind of
They are sending this man to hell.
yes.
And if you recall, the 2017 version, which we actually were like, oh, that was a pretty cool way of doing that because it's unique, because it's like over the head, down, and you don't see Johnny Depp's body, you don't see blood, you see the blast radius of the violence as opposed to the violence itself. And this one, they're just like, no, there's fucking Toby Jones, dead ass is fucking covered with blood. You can see all the wounds. It's gnarly.
The intent
my
is different.
favorite-
The intent was totally different. So where Branagh's version ends up is really. I mean, it's still the idea is still supposed to be wrestling with the question, but I feel like both the Finney and Branagh version are weighted more heavily in what's the morally correct thing that I think we would all sort of agree is, well, fuck, child murderer, right? Like, I'm not that sad that he got murdered. This one really wants to hit you with like, no, this is a really intensely fucking violent thing that they did.
Yeah, it's ugly.
It is
the murder is
ugly
uglier.
thing. Yeah.
I think I like the 70s one best because that had the like Dario Argento vibes where it was like it was all like one color and it was done in this way where they didn't show much but it felt really creepy.
It was a little spooky,
Yeah, where I thought that kind of did the best of both worlds, which is that like these people are condemning themselves by doing this act and it's almost satanic. It's like a ritual and it's like
they all have the ritual aspect. That's true.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And there's just like a creepiness to that. And I actually think it's creepier if the guy's out cold, weirdly. Obviously, this is the most visceral and most like, this is what murder would feel like and be like, and it's not fun.
Yeah, and they make it like they show I mean, it's really grisly, but they really focus on the difficulty that some particularly older women have with like pushing a knife into this guy.
Yeah, you really got to get that in there.
And the light in here,
the moral difficulty too.
Get moral difficulty, yeah. But like it's physically difficult. Like they really have to. But anyway, the lighting has started to change as the train is stuck, and it's like they're burning all the oil lamps and stuff, and so it's like this hellish light in there, so it even more
the electricity stops.
That's right, the electricity
there's
stops.
no warmth of the tungsten bulbs,
so it's this hellish light for the back end for when we see the murder, and then also for when he's doing the you all did it j'accuse scene. So
and that all
it even
goes
more conjures the idea of like a satanic ritual, like
right,
they're selling their souls to do this.
Right, everything's going cold and dark, and it's like they're going cold and dark inside. It's
but the light is
about
warm. The light is a warm light. It's like this this hot light, but they're cold and freezing.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. Like I think it's like the Finney one is the most like we're having fun, folks. We're solving a mystery. The Branagh one, I feel like, does get some of this one, but this one is like relentless of like This one is probably the one that doesn't like these people the most.
It's the least sympathetic, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the least sympathetic towards Poirot.
Yeah.
Which I think,
Yeah.
as we mentioned in the last episode, was what Agatha Christie intended. She thought she hated the character by the end of she didn't want to write the character anymore. And he originally was kind of devised to be a magical, detective man, but she wanted to make it a magical detective man who, in the same vein of Sherlock Holmes, was insufferable, was a little penchant, little prissy boy, who wanted things to be perfect, and was poncy little, fucker, and she wanted to be twist the knife a little bit. And I think that that's more in tune with this one. I think that there's also something that we've kind of alluded to, which is that there's more faith in this one, specifically from Poirot, which is that he's more agnostic in the others, right? He's more of I'm a pure, not science guy, not that he doesn't have any form of religion or anything like that. They just don't talk about it because he's all about solving crimes. And religion is deeply at the nature of this tale, right? Because it's dealing with justice and God's providence and intentions, and why do bad things happen to good people and all that stuff. And a lot of people on the train are very religious, and are religious figures. In this one, Poirot actually prays. He clutches the rosary a few times. It's the last shot, as you mentioned. And while I don't think it makes much of that, as a specific, what does that mean for him? It does make his faith more present and makes the idea of this tale. And I think it's a good support system for the way this tale ends up, because it wants to make it more primal, more primitive, because justice is primitive. It's we will not solve this with any story. There's no hard and fast loose answer to vigilantism and the concept of justice being, there is no absolute justice, but you can never have too much justice, it's one of those impossible value assessments that you can't really place a methodology behind it.
This is definitely, I'd say, the quote-unquote grittiest version of him, or most grounded.
Yeah.
The religious, it's he's of his time. This is unrelated to the religious aspect, but it's this is the version that's most likely to probably be racist, where it's he just feels like he exists in this time more, and he feels like if we were trying to do this is a historical version of this man, because I would argue he's also less magical. And what I mean by that is he solves it, but then other people give him information that in other versions he conjured. They have some of the people kind of confess or go and this is an aspect of this that you haven't mentioned yet, where in the other versions he knew everything beat by beat more. Where the Kenneth Branagh one feels like the least of his time. He feels like we're clearly making this as for modern audiences. He feels like a more modern man in that time.
Yeah.
And the Finney one, I still think is my favorite version, only because I would argue, is the grounded version of a jaunty mystery solver, and that he's insufferable for a different reason,
right.
in a way where you're you
some rich asshole,
but this
casting judgment on people.
Right,
for
but
applause.
The idea of an expert detective, this feels like what they would most realistically look like and act like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with the Finney version, and the Branagh version are closer to the pulp that it's meant to be. It's meant to be a murder mystery novel. It's supposed to be front and center. Whodunit? This is trying to do more, and my guess is because, as you mentioned, we're 12 seasons into this, and it's short forms, short stories, one per episode. But I'm pretty sure they wanted to do some kind of seasonal development, right? If you're in a TV show, you're probably going to do that. Tom can probably talk to whether or not they did.
Yeah, they did
that. Yeah, and I think that this probably for example, something that we kind of is in all of them, but this one the most, is you really feel the over-the-hillness of him as a character.
Yeah.
There's a catharsis in this one where he's people probably they're just not impressed by him as much as like the other ones. They're like, oh, you're famous and oh, you're so smart from jump. This one he kind of has to earn it for a little bit more.
No, but not
like
too
he
many
has to
people have really
convince
heard
people
of him.
he's huh? Yeah,
Not too many
he's
people have really
famous.
heard of him in this one outside of
Yeah.
Book.
It's not like there's pageantry that goes along with it, which is like kind of the expectation of the other ones because he's this magical figure. This one, they wanted the down to earth, so it's more of like, I bet that's a part of the seasonal arc of like 12 seasons.
I can see that.
It's a recurring thing that they do on the show. They play it as a gag more often than not. It's meant to take the piss out of him a little bit, but he always introduces himself and then waits for applause. And more often than not, they don't know who he is.
Yeah, okay.
So
He's also, I would argue, he feels more tired. Like every time, whenever like in all three films, when he sees the murder, he locks in. There's a lock-in moment where it's like, I'm not on vacation anymore. I'm locked in. This is the most where he kind of like sighs through it. Like, all right, let's look at the stab wounds. Where it's like he still locks in. He's still like, I'm in detective mode. But there's a lot of like he doesn't correct people. He doesn't show off as much. Like when the other guy is like, I think it was a mob hit. He doesn't like. He kind of goes like, sure, man. Like it's a lot of that. It's a lot of
it's
like,
not like you idiot.
yeah. He kind of just lets people. He doesn't like, and there's these great like he's like angry at it. Like whenever someone lies to him, you can tell that he knows because he just stares at them with like a sourpuss for a second,
just
and
getting
then we'll
more
go like
pissed.
yeah, and then be like, thank you. And
We
like,
also see him
It's like when you're lying to your parents and they know it.
yeah.
We also see him fail where he gets, in the same vein, he gets really short-circuited by Jessica Chastain's first interview, right? Where it's like, he's basically like, just give me what I fucking want,
Right.
like, it feels like a not even Poirot thing to do. He's like, I'm gonna use my knowledge to get around that, and he eventually does. He knows that he sees that she's lying, but he gets frustrated that he's like, this should be easier because I don't want to actually be here.
Well, isn't that the scene where he's yelling at her to antagonize the Colonel?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think that's like a deliberate thing, like it is in the Finney one.
He's doing a tactic there.
Yeah, you remember
that's true.
He does the same thing in the Finney where he's yelling at her and it makes Sean Connery get up and punch the other guy, and it's how
I'm
they
gonna protect her. Yeah.
And so he coaxes out of Sean Connery the information that he wants to know.
But
David Morrissey, by the way, good Sean Connery stand-in.
David Morrissey.
Yeah. He's got that like where I bet it, like that. You see a picture of him and you're like, he looks like a nice guy, but I feel like if you met him in real life, he's like 7 feet tall and like he's very imposing. Is my point, more so than you
he's
think.
probably
tall.
holding an axe.
Yeah,
like I feel like he's always has an axe on him.
Yeah, for sure. I like how they handle him being like, I'll fucking shoot him, because I've been saying that for the other movies. Is like, shoot him. And he
like,
finally goes like, you know what? I gotta go.
I'll blast them both. He's gonna shoot Book too.
Yeah. 2 of the 3 movies has this thing because, the Finney one, they just have him go like, fuck this guy. I'm glad you all killed him. But the other 2 have to have that turn where it's like they need to prove that they're not going to kill any more people. And I think even though it's like a lot of moving parts, I think the 2017 one had the clearest version, I guess.
Yeah,
of him giving them the gun that wasn't loaded to see what they do.
With Shelley Fife grabbing the gun.
Right, just because they like talk the governor down from killing him, I was like, that doesn't feel like he won't kill somebody again based on that.
He is still the governor.
Yeah, and he still was about to kill him if he hadn't been talked down.
He said he's going to shoot them both, so it's not just that he was going to shoot Poirot, he's going to shoot Book too.
Yeah, because he's his friend, and he knows that he would say something.
Gotta cover it up, man. Gotta cover it up.
Which that's the whole dilemma. That's why I actually, like, honestly, in terms of the story, I think the best telling of the story is this one. Even though I am battling myself because I'm also just like, what is this though? It's an Agatha Christie. What do I want out of it? I think it's just by this point, I had seen it 3 times in the last like 3 months, and I was just like, delighted to see that they did a different interpretation that wasn't just magical math man solves puzzle,
like boldly different, kind of.
Yeah, really trying to get in the weeds of like the philosophical, like what's at stake here.
Again, it's the gritty version.
It doesn't make you feel okay with either side.
No, it's an impossible argument is what it is.
Because it's like they really land on, these people were wronged, but they also, this one pulls more out of the idea that they felt entitled to murder.
Yeah. Because the 70s one, hear me out, is the Tim Burton Batman. Or maybe even the before that, maybe even the Adam West Batman. It's like we're having fun. The 2017 one is
sometimes
very
you just
much,
can't get rid of a bomb.
Sorry, I had to do it.
No. And then there's the Nolan one. The 2017 is the Nolan one, to the point that it even starts with like the Dark Knight style title, where it's like, this is gritty, but we're still having fun. There's action. It's cool.
But he still uses math to clothesline a guy with his cane.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. This is the Robert Pattinson one, where you're like, Batman is not pleasant.
I don't depressed.
Like this.
Yeah.
Batman breaks a finger bone punching a man's face into dust.
Yeah.
God, everyone is Poirot is also in this one more despised by everyone, and he also hates everyone.
Yeah.
Like they really show his distaste. Like in the other ones, it's like, especially the Branagh, which I see as the polar opposite, frankly, of this one, as far as you can get in this story. Like the egg stuff and like the fact that, I like things very particular and stuff like that. He will turn his disappointment into some kind of, quirk or comment that is.
They want him to be nice.
He's being polite, but he's like, but I don't want it. If it's not, the eggs aren't the same size, I just won't eat the eggs, and that's fine. But I'm deeply saddened by this, But here it's like he'll just stew. He doesn't meet it with charm. He just stews silently like a fucking school shooter or something.
Yeah. They spend less time on the eggs.
We'll pay for screwing up those eggs.
Sorry. The Branagh one it was like a whole sequence, and then like you said, it's him going like, you
multiple
have the eggs,
examples
kid,
too.
Yeah,
and we focus on because I'm not trying to shit on the Kenneth Branagh one. I actually think that there's a great case to the jaunty, jovial aspect of Poirot, who I until I watched this one, I didn't really even see the alternative, really, because I hadn't seen a ton of them. Right. He's a lot of fun. I like that version of it, but it is very indicative of like what we're kind of obsessed now with the wrong things. I'm not saying like they don't make them like they used to, but this is a little bit of old man where I'm like, is really what we're trying to do with this franchise. Like, as much as I love Branagh putting on like the mustache cover when he goes to, those are details I don't really give a fuck about. Like, if you can be taking that time and more making an argument about the catharsis of our villains, that's better time spent.
Well, yeah, it's the question of like, and I would argue this series, it's kind of built in like Sherlock, where it's that feeling of like, not everybody has to be like a superhero, right? Not everybody has to be like a brand, where it's like he has to be like an action figure version. Right. And this, it feels like he's just one character of many in a movie, in a story we're telling. Like, if that makes sense, where it's like, it's not a Poirot adventure, even though it literally is. It's a TV show
season
about
10
him.
of it even,
But it feels like there's more attention to like, what's the actual like events and all the people. Even though I will say this felt like it spent the least amount of time on the suspects, like, because I think it's just because it was 90 minutes. Yeah. Like it in terms, I think that 2017 had the least amount of like interviewing the suspects. Mm-hmm. This one tried to have that. But the Finney one probably spent the most time.
That's all.
Doing a character study, for sure.
Yeah.
That's all it is, right? It's just from once the murder happens in the Finney version, it's just a series of interviews, and that's the rest of the movie.
Which I think is more true to the book, like, because that's how Poirot operates. Is it's just a kind of escalating series of scenes that are interviews.
And even if it's not, that's just still a really cool, interesting way to adapt a murder mystery. It's like, well, let's just have the whole movie just be the interviews with the suspects, and then we get the conclusion.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Satisfying.
Tom, you seem more familiar than both of us. Is it largely Poirot like a whodunit style? And when I say whodunit, I think like, so the difference between him and Sherlock. A Sherlock isn't a we're all in a house together whodunit. It's him. There's usually a murder, but then he's out and about and there's all these pieces. He doesn't actually interview a lot of people. It's more about clues in the room. Whereas Poirot is about like sitting down, talking to somebody and having a series of interviews and almost then like he also finds clues and shit, but like
It's both.
this
It's
Yeah.
both. In the Suchet TV show anyway. But
Yeah.
they spread it out. They have two characters sort of built in that I'm sure aren't necessarily in all of the stories, but they give him sort of like two sidekick characters that help spread out the investigation. So it makes like the discovery of clues seem a little less magical, you know. So it's
He's got a team of forensics.
yeah. But that's
but
it's he's out and about. It's also it's a lot of interrogation. They almost always end with he gathers everybody together for a jeu accuse.
right. And it just seems like he reads people. Like Sherlock Holmes, one of the things he doesn't do, like when he talks to someone, he'll remember things they said, but his solving is always like, aha, but there's a bit of chalk on your shoe, which implies like it's almost always like a visual clue. The power of deduction is him taking small things, and whereas Poirot feels like he reads people a lot better, where he's like, you said this, not only what you said, but how you said it, and like your emotions clearly in this moment.
That seems true to me.
Yeah. Plus,
That's
like,
just interesting.
Sherlock has always been like kind of autistic coded,
An alien,
you know?
yeah.
He's incapable of really reading the room, even though he can read all the details of the room at a supernatural level. Yeah. Also, this one is particular, as far as I am aware from reading Agatha Christie novels, you know. This one is famous, specifically the Murder on the Orient Express is famous because of the answer being the conspiracy. Not all of them are like, you all did it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's why this one is like really famous, right?
12 goddamn seasons and more. There's more after this, and they only got around to this one. You know, season 12, I was like, what the fuck had been...
I think they did that on purpose because it's been done so much.
I think it's both. It's one, it's been done so much, and two, they're waiting for him to be the right age.
That makes sense.
Because they did the very last one, Poirot's Last Case, which he dies in it. They did that in 2014 or something. They like did it really recently.
Right.
They waited till he
makes
was like
sense.
super old.
It's like how
Dave,
Spider-Man is only now swinging around New York, right? Doing like Spider-Man stuff when we're on like film 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Where they wanted to start earlier, so
Get
they're
him out
like,
of
let's
high
put the
school.
Vulture. Yeah, where they're like, okay, everybody's done Doc Ock. Let's get the Vulture in there. It's that. I assumed it was that they were like, but you know, like, oh,
I'm
people
sure
are
that
gonna
was part of
fucking
it, for sure.
Freak when this happens.
But it's kind of like a late stage Poirot story, right? So it's about like a jaded Poirot.
It
so I
should
think another
be.
part of it was like waiting for him to be that age.
Because it's the main one that I'm aware of that threatens his very worldview.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. And it's also very funny as almost like a gag of like this guy solving mysteries like, okay, he did it, they did it. And then to the point of like, fucking everybody did it. Did everybody do it? Fuck's sake. Like, it's just like constantly surrounded.
Fucking everybody guilty.
Yeah.
Dude, I really
Sacre
now I'm obsessed with, I want to know how like Poirot dies. I only think there's two
Autoerotic.
options. I was gonna say one is he's
yeah.
jerking off his little
Just twisting one out, man.
his dick that has its own mustache, and the other way is
Twisting
that
the night away.
the other one is probably falls out of a hot air balloon and pops.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he hits the
bursts
ground.
when he hits the
I
ground.
could also see shot by some guy, and then because he's not around, no one can figure out like why it happened. Of just like, oh, that guy was pissed
The
at him.
ultimate irony.
Yeah.
Poirot's murder will go unsolved.
I have a question Do you think that all, because we never actually asked this question, I've only thought of it just now. Do you think Agatha Christie, when she wrote this, was trying to do a Caesar thing? With the stab.
Oh, yeah,
everyone gets involved. Like, that's
Oh.
the only famous death that went that way, right? So it feels like, even though, like, obviously the Caesar version is like, yeah, he's a deplorable monster who's destroying the Republic, but these are his friends and compatriots.
Right.
This one is more of like, we're getting justice and we're bloodthirsty.
I think that's gotta have been
but
on
it's
her
gotta
mind.
be on the mind, right?
I think I mentioned this in another version of us talking about this. Is I always thought of it as like kind of a subversion of the idea, right? Whereas that everybody is a suspect is like such a trope. I don't know if it was a trope when she wrote this, but then it's like, that's right, everybody is a suspect. It's
Totally.
like just like a funny gag on that. In fact, this had the most instances, I think, of suspects saying, "Oh yeah, I would murder that man." Like every single one has someone saying that, where they're like, "If I knew who he was, I would have murdered him." This one, it feels like
stab that guy
three
immediately
people.
for sure.
Yeah. Like they practically are like, "Oh yeah, I would get all my friends together, maybe get on a train, and we all stab them 12 times one by one. I'd totally kill them." Like they do that thing where their cover is saying like, "Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
I would have murdered him. I didn't, but I would have." So
this one we've said in all three podcasts, but this one most of all, these people are terrible murderers. Like
Yeah.
they're very bad at nearly all aspects of murdering someone, I assume.
And they're very shaky. Like I feel like they're kind of they
They're
don't
like,
coordinate.
"Who,
They're kind of
us?"
improvising. Yeah.
Yeah, I kill him. Bring him out. I'll stab him again. I mean, stab him for the first
Or
time.
the person next to him is like rubbing their eyes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It
Just
definitely
like, we're really
feels-
fucking this up.
It definitely feels like sloppiest motherfuckers.
Yeah, for sure.
They were destined to be caught.
Well, they show them going like, "Oh, where this?" Like they're like trying to do the imaginary killer, because I get the idea is the plans are changed. They're
Yeah,
like, I don't know,
that's a
just say he went out the
terrible
window.
Scream
I'll say,
and wake him up.
Yeah,
What?
and it's like,
why
what
is
the fuck
that
are you
the
guys
plan?
doing?
Say something where it's like he doesn't speak that language. It's like that. It's very clear that he did not. The victim did not yell that out from his train car. He was
Right.
dead already. It's very clear because everyone knows he didn't know how to speak French or whatever.
Across the board for all these movies, you know what's a really easy way to get out of this? Stonewall 'em. All of you. Just
don't know
when it's like
what
there's
you're
been a
talking about.
murder.
Just
I'm
zip
going to
it.
talk to each
Zip
of you, and everybody that you could literally all just go, "We're not saying a thing."
Zip your lips.
Yeah. And like it would be suspicious, but he's going to walk out of that going like, none of them are saying a thing. So
Don't you
seems
dare
like they
say
all
a
did it.
goddamn thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
just-
I can't prove it. They've just iced me out completely.
Yeah, that's how you beat a. That's how you beat a like a super detective.
Yeah, just
You
keep
just-
your fucking mouth shut.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I don't have to answer that. I want my lawyer here.
Yeah.
You know, seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
But I
Yes,
guess
we're
turn of
not
the
saying anything
century
if he
Poirot
pushes.
can't
times.
make you say a thing to him.
But
Yeah.
it's turn of the century times. It's you got to do it because that's what guilty people don't stay quiet.
Yeah. Just stonewall him. If he pushes, be like, "Hey, man, we're alone on a train. And no one's coming for a while. Maybe just go to your room. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll bring you some fucking eggs."
Yeah.
Gets you
Just,
some perfectly sized eggs.
They'll be
Yeah.
the same size, you weird freak.
Don't
you
worry
little
about
rat
it.
man, you insufferable little rat man.
That is the other thing this movie does is they really push that guy who's helping him really pushes mob stuff to the point that it felt like they wanted us to think, because they do the thing where he's like, "Dude, if this is the mob, you got to stay out of this. They'll fuck you up." Like they really try to distract us with the mob stuff more than the others, because I feel like the others know that we all know that it's bullshit,
Yeah.
where it's like, of course it's not a mob hit.
We know this dude deserved it.
They
Yeah,
just
and we
shoot
know
him.
we
They
know
wouldn't
that it's
go on
not
a
going to be
train.
like some mob guy we never saw. It's a fucking murder mystery. It's going to be at least one of them. It's not going to be a mob guy like
If it was a
hiding
mob
under the
hit,
train.
they would just kidnap them and throw them in a ditch. They wouldn't wait for the murder to be on a train.
Right. They
It's this
wouldn't buy out the
elaborate
whole
ruse.
train car and like this, this whole
Blow it up.
Yeah.
Just
Hiding
set-
a bellhop's uniform in one of the other passengers' compartments. No, it's just guy would just be fucking dead in a river.
Yeah.
I do
That's
love
it.
that version of the mob, though.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot better. It's a lot more
Elaborate
interesting.
Hardy Boys mysteries.
I like that version where the boss is like, okay, guys, you got to stop doing this. Like, in the future, just shoot him and go. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this murder mystery
what are we
shit?
doing here? What?
It's just these goons with these elaborate pranks and ploys.
Coming back to the mobster, mob boss like, I'm sorry, did you stab him with an icicle in the shower and let the icicle melt? Like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Just shoot him.
You
What's
have a
happening
Tommy gun.
Yeah.
We don't care. We don't care at all. We buy the police. We just buy the police. Yeah.
That's why we buy the police.
I do think that the Albert, another one in the case of the Albert Finney version, the 70s version, is that's the best straight up solving a crime piece by piece fiction, because the Branagh and the version and this version, you just get that he's figuring things out under, behind the eyes. And then he reveals the information when it's necessary, which I know is part and parcel for an Agatha Christie. But I do like, in terms of if you're watching a murder mystery, I love seeing people work it out. I think that's one of the important parts of this genre and why it works. And that one is the most successful in terms of you feel stressed, because there's an emphasis on this all seems like chaos, but Albert Finney is taking piece by piece, organizing the chaos into clusters and asking pointed questions based off the cluster that preceded it. Now, that's not how life works, but it is how a detective story typically unfolds.
No.
This one feels like chaos the whole entire time until which is why we all had the same effect at the end, where we're like, oh, it's that scene already where he's going to say Jacuz,
Right.
like that felt like we're a few scenes away from that. And he's just like, you know what, motherfuckers, I think you all did it.
Yeah. Fuck this.
Yeah.
He's just walking to the snow. I totally agree that as a whodunit fan, I think the Albert Finney is still my favorite, even if it isn't the best version. Yeah. What I mean by that is, like, to compare it to like a zombie movie. If you like zombie movies, right? Mm-hmm. I would say, like, there's the version where it's like, okay, give me zombies. That's what I want. Give me zombies. And then you watch, like, what is the fucking the Heist of the Dead,
Army of the Dead.
Yeah, where you're like, I didn't want a heist movie. What the fuck is this? That to me is the Kenneth Branagh, where you're like,
adding
don't give me
too much
action. Whereas, like, this version is like that movie Maggie or something, where it's like, why are you giving me this like really sad, grounded version of zombies? Just give me the goddamn. So, as someone who just wants like a whodunit as like just a form of entertainment. I do think the one where it's just like, haha, I solve the mystery, and it fuck the dead guy, and who gives a shit? We're not exploring like the morality, is probably the most satisfying scratching of the itch. Again, it's not the
like
best
Harry
version.
Potter approach.
Yeah,
exactly. It is.
I caught
like,
the snitch.
Yeah, it's just like, give me my slop versus I think this is probably the better movie ultimately.
I got
It's
a question.
just- yeah.
Who wins the train battle? Which version does the most best train stuff?
Are you saying if they have to physically fight?
No, train. Like showing pictures of trains.
Oh, okay.
Putting
Yes.
coal daddies
Satisfying
putting
train
coal.
daddy.
All
Yeah.
three of them have like a moment when they introduce the train where
Yeah.
it's like train. The
Yeah,
70s
exactly.
one, the 70s one I notice is the most like jaunty, where it's like, we're going on a train ride. The 2017 one is very like, look at these epic sceneries and CGI, and it's like almost like a reverence. I really liked how in this one it's like going to our doom. Like, it's really like the music's dark, and it's like nothing good's going to happen on this train.
But surprisingly, it reverts back to the top because it now gives me the coziness. Because now I'm cozy because it's darker outside and you're in this warm train.
This is the coziest version because it's surrounded by trees. They're more dug in. And like when he's like doing his weird little mustache flame and it's like kind of day. And I was like, I kind of want to be there. Like that looks kind of nice.
Even though the Branagh version is the most idyllic train. In fact, it's nonsensically large. The sets are too big for a train to physically exist. But you don't care because you're watching a movie and look at that wall paneling. It looks so cozy. So it's tough to compare. It's hard to beat the Branagh version, I guess.
I do like the look of the 70s one because
it feels the most like that's the one that emphasizes the class divide the most. Like it feels like we were saying, it feels the most like he's holding court, like he's just some rich dude passing judgment on the lessers.
Just
and
playing
that
a game.
feels the train in that one feels the most like an antique on wheels, I suppose. Like it feels the most like a palace, I guess. At least in my memory.
That's it's hard. It's like
it's been a couple of weeks since we watched it.
Yeah. That's the train I feel like I want to be on the most, but I didn't like the environment as much.
Very fancy train, but it felt like oppressively like fancy to me in my memory. Like it's very, very firmly, this is high society.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, I think the Branagh version is the most trains, but I think the other two do trains for better effect. It's like, and I think I got to give it to the Albert Finney one, just because they do show shots of like, reminder, there's people working on this train too. Like, which I think is a useful part to the narrative. This one, we don't spend a lot of time with, there's help. You know?
You're right. That is the most populated one. I would say even the Branagh one, they show like people, workers kind of outside.
Dozens. It's weird.
But they don't, in this one it felt like, are they all dead? Like, is this a ghost train? Where's all the fucking people working on this train? Yeah. And I'm guessing because it's TV where it's like, just less budget.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to give it to the Finney one as the most train.
It is maximum train. Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. I think it's important, though. I take trains very seriously.
Man, I'm going to give it to the Branagh one because he has that winding like road around the mountain when the snowdrift falls in, and it's like train when it's coming around the side of the mountain.
Like, and it's also we get
so much train, dude.
A lot more shots of the dudes putting the coal in the steam engine, and you know me, I love that shit.
Way more dudes trying to dig the train out. It's maximum train.
It's maximum train.
Yeah,
truly. Do we need to say, besides Poirot, best cast?
Like who? Okay. Yeah, that's a great...
I think this isn't fair because I think that the 71 gives everybody more to do, and so they
because it's character study.
Yeah.
It has two like very impressive like monologues, including one that won the award.
Oscar. Yeah.
Branagh, there's some iffy ones. I like Branagh as like the jovial version, but like Penelope Cruz, it's tough. That's a tough performance for her, I think.
Yeah. Again, not enough.
And this one has some good ones, but most people are just other than like Jessica Chastain, and this could be, I'm putting on goggles because I know her, but I also know Hugh Bonneville, and like I've seen a lot of these other characters or actors, but like it feels muted, it feels safe. I think the Albert Finney one is the best performances.
Of all the Poirots?
Or just in the 70s version has the best character modeling.
I almost don't want to ask what's our favorite Poirot because it's like I like them all for different reasons.
Exactly. It's tough.
Which Poirot would you most want to get in a milk drinking competition with?
Ooh. Milk drinking.
I think Branagh, because I feel like Branagh's the one who would throw up first or poop first.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Finney is going to go to town on some cream. If you put cream in front of that Poirot, he's going to be like, hold on!
The cream.
Yeah, and he'll start
Everybody
licking
stand
it
back.
like a cat.
Yeah. I mean, I want to watch him drink
Yes.
as much milk as he can until he pukes the most. But if in terms of a competition,
I just don't
and I think the Suchet one he can secretly pack it in cream wise.
really, because I think because he is like, I want everything to be perfect, but like if it displeases me, I'm out. He has the least fortitude for things he doesn't like than the others. The others will play the game and will be like, I'm sorry, but I would like to leave now.
Right.
I think Suchet is the type of guy who's going to spit the milk out at you and start cursing and then fart and leave.
Right. Yeah.
He's a table
Unless it's at
flipping sort.
gunpoint. It could be at gunpoint, the competition, like they have to.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, like Deer Hunter, but with milk.
Yeah.
I think you're losing to Finney, regardless of the sitch.
I think you're
you're
just
beating
losing to
Brana. I think Suchet would be the toughest fight.
Yes. I think
It'd be close.
Brana, I feel like he's the one who's like, he probably doesn't chug milk normal. Like he
No.
seems the most precious in the digestive
He does.
system.
He seems like the sweetest little cinnamon bun out of all three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that pretzel that he's got on his face.
Yeah, and he's just a
Right,
sad
like-
boy with a little tummy.
You
Yeah, he's
might
got-
win.
oh.
You might win to
Just need to get
Suchet,
tummy.
but you'll be haunted for life by that win. Like
Oh,
he
he's a
will
table
make
flipping
you-
son of a bitch too. He'll make
Yeah.
you sad that you won.
Yeah. Yes.
You'll walk away from that being like, fine, fuck, you win.
Yeah. And he'll get in your head.
Yeah.
He'll call you indecent or some shit. They'll be like, I don't know why he said that.
He was in Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was.
Are we? Do we have anything else to say?
I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, this Poirot uses third person so much more than the others. He
Oh, yeah,
talks
he's like
about
Mr. T.
himself in the third person, and that's rough. That's hard. That's hard to be a likable character when you're saying Poirot does this.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's a through line of the entire series. He
Yeah,
refers to himself in
yeah.
third person.
But it really is amped this time, and I think to good effect because they were like, he's not like a hero.
No, he's up his own ass.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
little-
I think he's the likability question. It's like Kenneth Branagh is probably the one that you'd want to hang out with
yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's Kenneth Branagh. He's the most fuckable one.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, Suchet and Finney, it's two different sides of an unpleasantness.
Yeah.
Where Suchet is like, I feel depressed, whereas like Finney is like probably good for a party, you know, where he's just like such a little weird freak. But it's like I wouldn't want to take a car ride with him, you know.
No,
like
you don't want to
I-
hang out with either of those guys.
I would rather with Suchet because he'd probably just clam up the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he's more of the like, oh, if you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, and we'll just
Exactly.
get through this.
We'll ride this out together, chum.
Yeah, where Finney probably would talk.
He'd find a reason to hate you more.
Yeah. And he'd make noises. Like he'd make
Yeah.
noises, random noises the whole time.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
he just for no reason start like,
oh.
pulling out spoons from somewhere and
Yeah,
just
just
cleaning
Lost.
them
Another
off.
spoon, somehow more spoons.
More spoons. It's
No matter
like,
how
where you getting
many
these
you take
spoons,
from him.
buddy? Yeah, do I need
Give
to
me
take
those
these from you?
spoons.
He's like, oh, no.
Oh, Poirot spoons. Sacre bleu. Hercule Poirot brings enough spoons for the entire class.
Tiny little dessert
The
spoons.
entire class.
Yeah, I think we
we-
nailed it.
I think we've done our duty.
All right. Thank you, Dave Ruff.
Thank you.
This was, a lot of fun watching three versions of the same story
In a row.
in a row. My God.
I feel like I'm on the earth right now. I feel like there's not many podcasters who know as much about.
That's what
This
I love about
topic.
shit like this, where it's like, if this comes up at a party, you're like, well, actually, I could say a few things about Murder
Yeah.
on the Orient
I
Express
could-
and its three adaptations.
And
dug
then never
deep,
be
man.
invited to a party
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
We have dug deep.
Yeah. So this was through our Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. Oh, you know what? Abe.
Yeah.
First, thank you. And
Sure.
Small Beans. Patreon.com/smallbeans.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to plug there?
Trains. I said it last time.
Trains. And we do several podcasts with Small Beans. You two do Spiel Boys, and you'll do it again with Disclosure Day.
It's
We'll
coming
do
up,
it again.
Tom.
God damn it.
Yeah. Me and Swaim do Star Trek The Next Futurama. And then over at our network, we have Fox Mulder's Maniac and Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Himboo's our Supernatural podcast. And we watch movies every Friday night. Abe is often there.
I am often there.
Yeah. So you can check that out as well.
And we do Small Beans does Monday night.
Yeah,
we
you
do a
do.
shorter movie night on Monday.
Yeah.
And sometimes Dave's there on
Yes.
Holidays.
I'm trying. I'm trying to show up. It's tough with the baby.
I understand Monday's tough, but we like the idea that we're like bookending your week. So it's
Yeah.
like start the week right with a reasonable one movie, and then end like a maniac with two movies.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
2-movie blowout.
that's
We
what
also-
you guys. That's always how I'll remember you. The
2-movie
Blowouts.
blowouts. Mhm.
Yeah.
We also have a store.
Yeah.
Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starling Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Please rate and review our podcast wherever you're listening. And please check out our other show, Badical, Badical, also wherever you are listening.
Yes. And
Do
again,
those things.
Trains.
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 Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at Artness by JustinBrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starling Hodge. You can find her work at starlingarts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.